Thank you. My question is to the Deputy Prime Minister, and I refer to his previous answers on net zero in this House. Given the Deputy Prime Minister has described climate change as, I quote, just the biggest scam that this nation has ever seen concocted, what can we expect the Deputy Prime Minister to say about Glasgow and net zero when he becomes acting Prime Minister tomorrow night?
The Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, I thank the honourable member for a question. I must admit I have to go a long way back to find that quote, but I'm happy for you to provide it to me. But what is really important is that when the Prime Minister goes to Glasgow, he'll be able to clearly point out that we will not be legislating any of the people in your electorate in Eden area out of a job. We won't be doing that. We'll be making sure the dairy farmers in Eden Monero are not legislated out by a form of legislation that your side of the House won't even tell us about. You won't tell us about your legislation. So I presume that the people in Eden Monero, the dairy farmers, will be concerned that the Labor Party legislation may go towards such things as methane emissions from your dairy herd. And that would be a big concern to the people of Bega, to know that the prospect of legislation that goes into the hearts of every coffee shop up and down Bega, that could have the expectation of the reduction of farming income for the people of Bega, is being proposed by the party that you are a member of. Because we'll be saying quite clearly that we make sure that there is no legislation that imposes on the freedoms and takes the place of the ingenuity that always resides with people who have taken us to a point where we have met and beat every target that we have had before us. Met and beat every target that we had before us. So when the Prime Minister goes to Glasgow, he will also know that the coalition are 100% behind the plan that he has brought forward. And we will also say, because I was looking through it, in Appendix 6, it was talking about the expansion of uranium mining and how important that is, how important that industry is. And we will be standing behind that. And I know, well, actually, I don't know whether the Labor Party support, well, actually, you don't really support the coal mining industry and you don't really support the mining industry. And I'd say that other people who are watching Glasgow will be very concerned. They'll be very concerned about the legislation that brings in the laws that outlaws the prospects of regional Australia. They'll be very concerned if that was ever to be brought about by the legislation that your side of the House proposes.